Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the most important players in the NBA right now. He's an MVP, one of the biggest bodies in the league by far, and a dominant presence who has wowed just about everyone. But while the current NBA crop of stars knows to respect and fear Giannis, what about the legends of the game? What about those who have gone above and beyond to prove their worth? Do they see Giannis as the next one to do that? Allow us to show you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 4. Scottie Pippen. When it comes to Scottie Pippen, there is no doubt that he's honestly one of the greatest players of all time. The tragedy, though, is that most people don't recognize that because of his connection to Michael Jordan. Most people agree that he is the greatest number 2 player of all time, and that's a stigma that stuck with him even after he more than proved his worth on his own. So thus, when asking him about Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have to wonder how he views him. Not surprisingly, he views him as a player that is on the verge of greatness and success in the NBA in regards to winning titles, but not there yet. He was asked about this before the NBA playoffs started. No, not yet. I don't think so. But I haven't seen him for a while, and from what I hear, he's working on his jump shot. But I don't think so. In terms of where they left off, I don't think that he really has got there yet. He elaborated. When you talk about winning a title, you talk about playing in the NBA Finals. You're talking about making big shots with seconds on the clock, being able to take those shots with confidence. I just don't see him as being ready for that right now, and I know that he's made some great strides. He's still one of the top players in the game, but in terms of his outside play, he's not ready to carry his team to a title. And this isn't a recent belief, but one that was cemented last year in the playoffs. I look back to where they were last year, and we were all thinking, wow, they're on their way to the finals, and they run into the Toronto Raptors. They really exposed Giannis to his weakness. That's what teams know when they get to you to a series. They're going to expose you. They're going to do that again to him this year. And guess what? He was right. Except it wasn't the Toronto Raptors who did it, it was the Miami Heat who beat him and the Bucks in 5 games. Now, was it all Giannis' fault? No, but when you look at it all, it's still his team, and he underperformed at times and got hurt. And this is yet another year where he was the number 1 seed and the MVP, and yet he couldn't reach the finals. Ironically, many people see him as someone who needs his own Scottie Pippen to win the title. He just doesn't have that yet. Number 3, Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady is considered one of the best to never get to the NBA Finals. In fact, he long had a stigma of never getting to the second round of the playoffs despite all of his talent, which honestly makes him perfect to talk about Giannis. When it came to this year, he was asked about Giannis going for his second MVP, and McGrady was very positive about it. In fact, Tracy McGrady vouched for Giannis to go back-to-back. I gotta go with Giannis. From the first game, his team has been on a mission. He arguably could be TPOY. So he's playing both ends. I can't take anything away from what LeBron James is doing in his 17th year, which is incredible to put up the numbers, but we can't forget he's also playing with Anthony Davis. And guess what? He was right as well. Because while the MVP votes are still not out, Giannis did win Defensive Player of the Year, showing that he was a true full-court player, and another reason why he's so deadly. He's on the court. But like McGrady, he's got to learn to go deeper into the playoffs, and that's something that no one can truly teach. Number 2, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is easily one of the best players to ever play the game, and his final 5 trophies and rings are proof of that. Johnson has an appreciation for good talent, and one time he was happy to sing the praises of Giannis. Oh yeah, he told ESPN, with his ball handling skills and his passing ability, he plays above the rim. I could never do that, but in his understanding of the game, his basketball IQ, his creativity of shots for his teammates, that's where we have the same thing. Can bring it down, make a pass, make a play. I'm just happy he's starting in the All-Star game because he deserves that, and he's going to be like an MVP, a champion. This dude's going to put Milwaukee on the map. I think he's going to bring them a championship one day. Of course, it should also be noted that this was cited as player tampering, and thus he was fined $50,000 for that. But hey, sometimes you have to speak the truth no matter what. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, in many people's minds, is the GOAT. The player that everyone in the NBA aspires to be like, even in some small capacity. Because why wouldn't you be? He's Michael Jordan, a 6-time champion, 6-time Finals MVP, 5-time NBA MVP, and so on and so forth. Ironically, Michael has only said light things about Giannis, including his undeniable skill as a player. When it comes to the reverse, Giannis has a lot to say about Michael, including what he has learned from him. Specifically, when the now very popular The Last Dance documentary came out, Giannis was totally hooked, and so much so that after the documentary ended, he tweeted out the following: "My MJ takeaway from The Last Dance documentary is that chasing greatness is a life mission." That's honestly a true statement for a very basic reason. From day one, Michael Jordan wanted to make sure the Chicago Bulls got a ring during his tenure, and that they would be respected like the Lakers, 76ers, Celtics, etc. And he did that. He worked hard to do that, and it took time, but he did it. Giannis has had many of those same hurdles, including body type issues, both gained muscles later on in their careers, and having to deal with strong opponents. If Giannis can truly learn from Michael, it's to go and push forward, no matter what. And there you go, everyone, a look at the various NBA legends who have weighed in on what they think of Giannis. Do you think that he will be the next star to finally break through and get that ring that he so desperately wants? Or despite all of his talents, will he continue to fail in the playoffs? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.